Hello everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood Godzilla fan, Godzilla here. And in this video, we are going to be explaining where did Godzilla's atomic breath come from, and I'm also going to explain how he wasn't actually born with it. I'm Godzilla. Let's get right into the video, shall we? Godzilla's atomic breath is his most recognizable feature. What if I told you that he didn't have that millions of years ago? But I do want to mention that this only applies to Monsterverse Godzilla and not any of the other ones. I also want to mention that this is just a theory. None of this is probably actually true. Well, it could be, but all I do is put the evidence together and get the answer. So this is my answer. Let's go all the way back to the Great War between the Godzilla species and the Kong species. They both had a great war to battle for dominance. And when you really think about it, you think that Godzilla's species would actually win against the Kong species, since Godzilla would have atomic breath and would just completely disintegrate all of the Kongs. But it seems like that didn't happen. So that means that the Godzilla species probably didn't have their atomic breath when they went to that war. So we can say that both sides had an equal chance of winning, but then some of the Kongs started killing the Godzilla species, and then they learned to build weapons with Godzilla's dorsal plates to make the axe. And then the Kongs actually started killing a lot of the Godzilla species because they had weapons and Godzilla species didn't. But we do know in the Hollow Earth that there is an energy source down there that is very powerful and very blue. So we all can assume that the Hollow Earth energy that we saw in Godzilla vs. Kong is what actually makes up Godzilla's atomic breath. And at some point in time, the Godzillas learned that they could absorb that energy and used it as a power. Also in Godzilla vs. Kong, when we saw all of the axes laying down on the ground, we see the Hollow Earth energy make all of the axes glow in like a light up pattern. And then they cut right to Godzilla doing that same light up pattern with his dorsal plates. And the Hollow Earth energy was being absorbed in the axe. Same with Godzilla's atomic breath. So yeah, I think we can all agree that they are the exact same thing. We also know as a fact that Godzilla feeds off of radiation. And the Hollow Earth energy we can also assume is some sort of radiation. So that's probably why Godzilla is able to absorb the Hollow Earth energy, because he already feeds on radiation. That also explains why someone like Kong, Rodan, or even Mothra can't absorb the Hollow Earth energy, because they don't eat radiation, so doing something like that might even kill them. And we also know that Godzilla possibly stores his energy in his dorsal plates. So after the Godzillas got their atomic breath, they decided to kill the Kongs. And what I think happened is that the Kong species maybe left their temple to go hunting or something like that. Maybe actual Kong or Kong's parents didn't go, and maybe they stayed behind in the temple. But some of the Kong hunters went out to hunt outside the temple, and the Godzillas came out of nowhere and fried them up with their atomic breath. And maybe the Kongs that were left in the temple decided that they had to leave the temple, and that's possibly why they went to Skull Island, on an island that Godzilla probably didn't really know about, and there were other monsters there. So it makes sense they just wanted to escape because they didn't want to die. It also makes sense why the temple didn't get destroyed, because the Godzillas maybe thought that they killed all the Kongs, but then the Kongs left, so the Godzillas were like, and they can just leave, I don't care. So basically, to summarize this whole theory, the Godzilla species and the Kong species had a great war. The Kong started winning against the Godzillas and started making weapons made out of Godzilla's dorsal plates. Then the Godzilla species stumbled upon the Hollow Earth energy, which gave them enough energy used as atomic breath to fry most of the Kongs, but some of the Kongs went to Skull Island, and the Godzilla species were probably like, hey, you guys can go on Skull Island as long as you stay there and don't ever leave, you guys can stay there and live. Now, yet again, this is all just a theory. None of this could possibly be true. This is just what I think possibly could be the origins of the Monsterverse and what happened millions and thousands of years ago. We do know that Godzilla 2014, Kong Skull Island, King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong were all directed by different people. So they have different opinions and topics on the Monsterverse from each other. So it's kind of a good thing that Adam Wingard is coming back to direct this new Monsterverse movie. So it's actually going to seem like it's kind of the same with Godzilla vs. Kong, and you have a great opportunity to expand on the lore of the Monsterverse that we saw in Godzilla vs. Kong. And we might even get an explanation of how this war even went. That's going to be it for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated on more videos. The next video is going to be my fan-made Godzilla Posters Part 2, so stay tuned for that. And as always, have a great Godzilla Day!
Ah, Godzilla's real.